Hey friends, so I am back and I want to talk about this Bobbi Althoff whole incident with Drake one more time because I have some clarifications to make. Okay, first of all, I want to say I'm not a celebrity blogger, so those who think that I am, I just want to say I'm flattered. But also I want to say that I just like talking about certain things I like to talk about and that thanks for listening. Okay, so I watched her on the BFF podcast and also on Rick Glassman's podcast because I want to kind of get a better understanding of like who she was and where she come from. And I do think that, in all honesty, she just got lucky with getting Drake on her podcast. I know a lot of people don't believe that. I mean, I think she got lucky to an extent. Do I think that she had money to offer people $300 to be on her podcast? Hell yeah. Do I think that she might have some inside connections that she's not revealing? Yes. But for the most part, I do think that she overall kind of got lucky. And the reason why I believe that is because there's been many podcasters who've been podcasting for years and are pretty funny, but they still have not had big celebs like Drake on there. One of the things that she did point out in the BFF podcast is that she is charging most of this podcasting venture to her credit cards, but it is believed that she already has a net worth of $400,000 to $500,000. That's a big freaking net worth for a upcoming podcaster. But in all honesty, it was the Drake interview that broke her to that. I mean, yes, she had a celebrity base at like 3 million before she really started, but the Drake podcast is really what got her a little bit more mainstream because I'll be honest, I didn't know who she was, but I also don't follow mommy content. Another thing that I think is very interesting is that she basically says that she wants to be an actress. Like, I think that's overall her goal. And since she had the opportunity to break into a podcast and maybe she was thinking of starting a YouTube channel to somehow get herself there to become a /comedian/actress with this, she calls it character that she plays, was her ultimate goal. So she decided to become a podcaster to become an actress, which is a smart move. But in all honesty, I think most podcasters, we like podcasting versus becoming like, I don't want to be an actress. I like podcasting and I like talking about stuff. So she knew that she had to get out there. She had to blow up. So let's talk about the Drake drama. Okay, so this is what I think about the Drake drama. I think that she kind of did get lucky. Maybe she had some inside connections she's not revealing. And her husband does have some type of moolah. And she might come from a wealthy family. We don't know. And anyways, so basically, she had him on the podcast. It was a success. And then she went to his concert and was acting very unentertained. And the next thing you know, it was deleted off of her podcast channel. So one of the things I want to say about that is she talks about how she went to record with him. And I believe it was in Memphis. Okay, it wasn't in Toronto. And they were in a bed. Was it his bed, a hotel bed, a set bed? I don't know, but it was in a bed. And basically, after that, she went to the concert and was acting very entertained, and then they stopped following each other and the podcast was deleted. But it sounds like his crew was the crew that set up the whole podcast. So there's a high chance that Drake owns the copyrights of that podcast. And whatever happened, like if they got into some type of tiff or argument, or maybe he gave her the ick, or maybe he came on to her, or maybe he was just like, I'm not vibing with this chick anymore. Who freaking knows? But whatever happened, the podcast got deleted. And if Drake owned some of that podcast and he's the one who created it, he might have been like able to say, take down that podcast, or I want some money from that podcast. And it sounds like she's already charging enough where she didn't have no way to give him any money. And that's why as a podcaster, you always send your guests a disclaimer. But then again, you know, most of her podcasting sounds like she's charging on her credit card is what she's stating, but I also think that she will receive revenue back from her podcast. And I want to tell all the new and upcoming podcasters, don't feel like you have to charge hella money on your credit card to become a podcaster. This is just what she did. There's other ways to monetize off your podcast. You don't necessarily have to get celebrities unless that's the route that you want to go. But I've also seen a lot of podcasts and content creators who maybe haven't hit, the mainstream like she did and break big or become famous like she did, but they still have very successful podcasts. So I just wanted to share that. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Drake may have asked her to take down the podcast or told her to take down the podcast? Why do you think it was taken down? I wish she would just explain it. All right, guys. Thanks for checking out my fake celebrity commentary. Bye.